first press release and the first announcement is we've decided that we're going to invest $250 million of our capital in a treasury asset or mixture of treasury assets. This may include stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, silver, Bitcoin, or cryptocurrencies, something like that. We let the market think about that. We also said we're going to buy back $250 million worth of our own stock over the next 12 months. We announced a share buyback program. Stock is $120 a share. $60 a share, and that, put that in perspective, it's a $500 million company with $600 million in value to the enterprise and $600 million in value to the cash. About 1.2 times revenue. At that point, we had concluded, we were going to generate a lot of cash flow, $70 to $90 million in cash flow a year. I mean, the digital transformation of the operation meant we weren't going to need capital to grow the business. We were going to generate a lot of capital because the things that were expensive, like throwing trade shows and flying around on airplanes and staying in hotels and spending money on all this advertising, that just all went away. So we knew we were going to generate cash. We knew we didn't need the cash. We announced this generally to the public. Crickets. Stock trades 20,000 shares a day. Nobody really notices. They don't care. 1 week later, we went to stage 2, where we said, okay, well, we've gone through our analysis. We've decided to buy $250 million worth of Bitcoin. We did it. Here's the announcement. And we're also announcing a Dutch tender offer. We're going to buy back $250 million worth of our stock in 20 days, and you can tender your shares for up to $140 a share. So in essence, the message is, if you don't like the Bitcoin strategy, this is your chance to get off the roller coaster, and you can get off with a profit. You can sell your shares back to us at $140 a share. Stock's trading 121, 122 when we announced that. You've got 20 days to think about it. So the idea is, don't surprise anybody. I don't want to tell you, figure out what Bitcoin is, and you've got 5 minutes, right? That creates anxiety. You can't figure out in 5 minutes. The company has embarked on a novel new balance sheet strategy, and we're going to give you 20 days to figure out whether you're going to buy more, sell, or hold your current position. And should you decide you want out, the company's going to backstop you. We're going to buy the first $250 million worth of stock at a premium. So the market trades. First, it trades into the 130s. Then they think about it a bit. Then it trades up past 140 and maybe past 150. Okay. So you've got kind of a put, you can put the stock back to the company at 140. You would think it would trade at least to 140. For 20 days, the shareholder base rotates. We want them to rotate. If you hate it, we want you to sell. If you love it, we want you to buy. At the end of the tender period, we don't know what's going to happen. We could have had $250 million tendered. We could have had none tendered. We had about $60 million worth of shares tendered. Okay, so we buy back $60 million worth of shares at $140 a share. Then we have $175 million of extra cash. We think about it. We have a board meeting. We adopt Bitcoin as our treasury reserve strategy, or a treasury reserve asset. So the next message to the market is, MicroStrategy is adopting Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. If we have excess capital from time to time, we're going to convert it into Bitcoin. Let the market think about that. Shortly thereafter, we bought $175 million worth of more Bitcoin. Now we bought $425 million worth of Bitcoin. Well, the people that are shareholder bases, you either are you long Bitcoin, or are you short Bitcoin, or are you neutral to Bitcoin? We don't have to convince everybody. We just have to be, transparent with a group of people that happen to like Bitcoin. So, and maybe you could say, I just got to convince anybody. right? It's like, I'm not trying to convince 100% of the people that they should love Bitcoin. I'm just trying to find the 1% that like Bitcoin and then act with transparency and integrity and offer them a publicly traded company where they can invest in such a strategy. So at that point, we had 425 million worth of Bitcoin. We started to communicate why we did it. We thought it's digital gold. It's smarter, faster, stronger than traditional gold. And it offers a monetary inflation hedge. The world starts to digest that. Our stock trades up. Bitcoin trades up. At some point, our stock trades up to 200. Then it trades up to 250. Then people discover maybe this is a good idea to own Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we buy the Bitcoin at the first thing we bought, it was like 11,800. People are like, you're crazy. You're taking all this risk. It traded down to 10,000. We bought some more. They thought you're double crazy. We took the risk. I'm like, I don't think I'm crazy. I think I'm, well, what are you going to do if it trades up or down? And the answer is, I'm not a speculator. I'm not a trader. I don't care whether it trades up or down. I'm holding it they're like, well, how am I going to hold it? Well, forever. I'm holding it forever. It's property. I mean, a decade is you want a time frame, a decade we can mark it. I mean, short time frame is 4 years to figure out whether it worked out in the short time frame. Mid time frame is a decade. Reasonable time frame is 100 years. That's why we bought it. People thought that was kind of crazy. Like, are you speculating? No, I'm not speculating. Okay, it takes a while. People don't, they don't quite figure it out. At some point, our stock traded up. Well, all of a sudden our stock trades up to a 10-year high. We keep making money. Our employees exercise some stock options. We make more money. We have more cash. We go buy $50 million worth more Bitcoin. I think we buy another 75 million worth of Bitcoin. Now we bought 500 million worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin doubles. We've made $500 million. The stock is doubled. At that point, the stock gets to $300 a share. It's more than it's best in a decade. We go to the market and we offer to sell $400 million of a convert bond. The market loves the idea of a convert bond. Okay, here's the idea. We're going to basically raise $400 million. We're going to buy Bitcoin with it. If Bitcoin goes down, you've still got the bond. If Bitcoin goes up, you've got the upside of Bitcoin. Where else can I buy a Bitcoin bond that makes me money if Bitcoin goes up and doesn't lose me money if Bitcoin goes down? I've got a software company standing behind it. Okay, people wanted to buy that bond. We were like quadruple oversubscribed, so we raised the bond from 400 million to 650 million. We paid 75 basis points in interest. We borrowed $650 million at less than 1% interest. We bought Bitcoin. We bought the Bitcoin around 20,000. Bitcoin kept going up. That bond was the best performing bond in the year in the US.